Hi, this is Jessica Lubianski from St. Jerome Catholic Church here in San Antonio, and we are heading into week 3 of our Lenten challenge, where we are refocusing, recentering, and we're encountering Christ in a whole new way this Lent. I don't know about you, but it feels like the rest of the world has forgotten that it's Lent. Yes, we don't hear the Gloria, we don't hear the Alleluia during Mass, but it seems like the world keeps spinning and our challenges are getting hard. Our friends have given up their Lenten challenge. Maybe we've even messed up. But this is a new week. And so I ask that if you haven't been keeping up with the different challenges, that you push through. Today's a new week. And so it's time to refocus, recenter, and encounter Christ. This week, I've really been reflecting on the woman at the well. You see, this woman had gone to the well in the middle of the day, not with her peers, because she was outcast, she was despised, she was rejected, she was ashamed of who she was. And lo and behold, Jesus comes to the well and starts a conversation with her. She had two choices. She could have chose to not answer him. She could have chosen to ignore him, but she chose to respond. He asked her for a drink, and she says to him, "Do you not know who you're talking to?" And Jesus replies, "If you knew who you were talking to, you would give him a drink. You would know that he is the source of living water." She asks if he's a prophet, and he says that he's the Messiah. He asked to see her husband, for her to bring him there, and she says, "I don't have a husband." And he calls her out on her sin, and he says, "You're right in saying that you do not have a husband. You have 5 husbands." I don't know about you, but I would be ashamed if Jesus called me out point blank. You see, Jesus offers her the living water. He shows her how to completely rotate her life and change for the better. And she could have chosen to keep it to herself. But in John chapter 4, we learn that she goes out. She goes back and talks to the Samaritans. And she testifies for Jesus. We have a choice to respond to Christ every day. We can let our sin and our shame and everything else hold us back, hold us into the desert. Or we have the chance to respond and receive the living water, which is only from him. What are you going to do with the living water? Are you going to choose to sit and be persecuted and be ashamed? Or are you going to take that living water out into the world? Take those that do not know Christ. Take those who have persecuted you. Take them to the source of the well of living water, which is Jesus Christ himself. So I want you to keep thinking about that this week. Keep thinking about the living water and how it runs through you and how you can provide others with that source of living water. This week, for our Give Up, we're giving up all non-water beverages. Sorry, you can't have your coffee, can't have your Big Red, can't have that Dr. Pepper. Only water, nothing else. And I hope that it's a reminder that Jesus is your source of living water, that he is thirsting for you, and that all you have to do is place your trust in him. For our pickup, we're going to be doing an evening examen. For many of you, you may have never prayed this prayer. It was introduced by St. Ignatius, and it's a way that we can pinpoint, examine our day and all the spiritual things. We can examine the movement of God in our lives. It only takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm going to give you a source that you can follow to do the examen each evening. Try to do this in the quiet. Try to do this in solitude, and where you can really take the time to evaluate your day. All we're doing is examining our spiritual aspects of our day and being thankful to God, praising God for all of those moments. But maybe it'll, for you, also will help you assess where you could have used God a little bit more. For our offer up, we're praying for those that we need to forgive. Just like the Samaritan woman, I'm sure it was not easy to go out into her community and face those people and testify like the gospel says. But she did it. She had to forgive others because she realized that she herself needed forgiveness that could only come from Jesus. So offer up prayers for those that have hurt you, those that have persecuted you, those who need forgiveness. Just like the Samaritan woman, this is your week to testify. Go out into the world and to bring those people in your life that need Jesus' living water. Have a great week 3. I am praying for you, and please pray for me. Goodbye.